Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Music's playing, believe me. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 854 of FloWrestling Radio Live. I'm your host, Christian Pyles, joined today by quite a crew today. One, you'll see to my right, there's nobody because JD Rader is late. Now, I know he's going to come in and say the following. I was in a fender bender. But I'll have you know that this man texted me prior to the Fendi Bendy that he was going to be arriving at 8:14 a.m., 1 minute before the show is set to start. So do I have any sympathy? And would his bender be fended had he been 10 minutes early?
He got hurt. He got hit. So, the person behind him was probably also going too fast.
Yes. So I'm obviously a very sympathetic person when it comes to things like this. But we're joined today. We have two special guests. Ben Askren, he's always here. You know him.
I'm
the
not
funky
a special
one.
guest anymore.
You're
I'm
just special. You're special, but you're not a guest.
I might show up for work more than you do.
You're right. Hey, I'm not going to be here tomorrow. I didn't even tell you that. But Shane Sparks is here.
That's what I'm talking about.
Shane Sparks is here, and Caleb Davis Pyles is here. He's in the mix. He's the reason I'm not going to be here tomorrow.
Where are you guys going?
We're going to we're not going to the Astros game. We're going to the Astros watch party at Minute Maid Park because the game's in Philadelphia. So we're going to go to that.
Oh my gosh, look at
tonight.
Caleb there. You got the headphones on and everything.
Say hey, Caleb.
Hello.
Is there like some big baseball games going on or something?
The World Series. You see Shane's got his Atlanta Braves hat. The
Astros
Astros
Braves. Oh yeah.
The Astros are
That's
useless
a-
against the NL East collectively.
Yeah, NL East has had a good run against the Astros. It was a year ago today that the Braves won the World Series. So I'm glad they got one because it's hard to get them. It's hard to get them. And the Astros
now?
What's that?
They're going to win 2 in a row?
No, they're not.
No, right now it's the Astros and Phillies. Phillies won again last night. Astros are a big favorite, but Philly's just, it's sports. Timing, they're red hot, confidence, and they're swinging the sticks.
Baseball is one of those sports, like if you were really into gambling, whatever team has the longest odds in the playoffs, you may as well throw some money on them because who really knows? It insane.
Is. I mean, last year the Braves, after 100 games, I want to say were under 500. I believe they were 50 and 51.
They were
after 100 games, pretty big sample size. At that time, their chances of winning a World Series were 0.03% or 0.3. It was less than 1%. Less than 1%. They lost their MVP, Ronald Acuna. They go on this unbelievable run. They get it done. Philly this year wins 87 games, third in the NL East. Nobody's talking about them. But I will say this. Being a Braves fan, the Phillies and Braves played in the first round. I never felt good about it. And I normally feel really good about the Braves. And in the last 2 decades, this is one of the best Braves teams. They won over 100 games. They were really good.
They were good.
But I said to Andy Hamilton after the first game, Philly had beaten the Braves in the first game, and I go, you know what, Andy? I got a really bad feeling. And I go, I also have a really weird feeling that Bryce Harper is going to just carry these guys. And he missed a good chunk of the season with a thumb injury. So it's like, it's impossible to predict. So, Christian, I would say this, piggybacking off your gambling point, if you gamble on baseball in the playoffs, you have a gambling problem.
Well, if you're good
because it is so unpredictable. Right? You just don't know. You just don't know. I mean, you don't know.
Yeah.
But I hope for Caleb's sake, being younger and having your team make the World Series and win a World Series would be really cool.
It would be awesome. We'll see.
Let me ask you this question: the Astros still cheating? Remember where they were cheating a few years back?
I will say this: I am in a lot of these teams. You can go back over the years and find different examples, but they definitely, that is one of the bigger cheating scandals in baseball history. And I would say this for the Astros: that's the year they won it. They've got, what is it? Six straight trips to the ALCS. If they don't win, the they will never be validated. They got to have this one. They really do. And they're good. I mean, I think this Houston Astros pitching staff, it might be the best pitching staff depth-wise in baseball history. It's that good.
I mean, come on. You gotta be a little.
It's nuts. No, it's nuts,
in baseball history.
In baseball history, that Astros pitching staff is phenomenal. So good. But it reminds me a little bit of those Atlanta Braves teams in the 90s. They were so good.
John Smoltz,
Tom Glavine, Greg Maddox. They had a great team, but they got one World Series. They won it in 95. But here's the other thing too with baseball. The postseason is a different game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why a team like the Astros, as good as they are, when you're that, it definitely narrows the gap in postseason in a 5 or 7 game series. And I mean, the Astros are so good because over 162 games they got depth.
Yeah.
But it's a good series.
Yeah, we'll see what happens tonight. We are joined by JD Rader.
Oh, there he is.
His computer's about to die. He's an absolute mess right now. You're lucky I got my charger today. Here, let me give this guy some juice. Explain to me your car troubles. What happened?
I am a fender bender survivor this morning.
Wow.
How's your neck, JD? How's your neck?
It's fine. It's fine.
No, don't say that.
No, my fender on the other hand is hanging on by a
Shane wants
whim.
you to commit fraud live on air.
No,
Yeah.
Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started on people that do that.
Whoa.
It's terrible. It was literally the last turn in. I was turning left to come on to airport here.
Man.
And next thing I know, there's a Tahoe
Man.
going through my fender.
You know what? 10 minutes earlier, you get here on time. Maybe
I know. And you know the crazy part is I was running late because Colleen's car is in the shop, so I had to take
Oh
her
my gosh.
to work to drop her off this morning.
Okay, so you actually have a decent excuse helping out your girl.
I just can't imagine the guy that hit you when he gets out of the car and sees you. At least, I mean, it's like you hit Magnum PI, you hit Tom Selleck.
Well, JD's 5'2", so it's not quite Tom Selleck, but
JD's a little more than 5'2", right?
He is formidable. Yeah, probably.
5'5".
JD, we got
5'5"
5'4".
with his boots on.
Yeah.
He has a lot of boots. So we already have. I don't know if you know this, but Ben probably does. The season is underway. Little Rock got things going.
Baby, 3 AWA wrestlers going off last night for Little Rock. Let's go.
Say something. Who did what? I see the Bianchi duo.
We got 2 Bianchi brothers. One got tech fall, one got a 14-point win. And then Mason, the real deal, got the tech fall at 184. So I'm excited for them. They're all rocked up. I know Keith Gothard's probably pumped up.
Yeah, what's Keith saying? He's got to be going wild in the chat. This is a big
it
day.
was a Division 2 opponent they beat up on, but I love that they got the season started on November 1st. Tremendous.
It's good to beat any team up. That's what you do.
Yes.
A lot of teams have a little softer start to their schedule. Very common.
Remember the what was the event called that you guys loved?
Iowa City Duels.
Iowa City Duels. That was so ridiculous. Like they would do 5 duels and like 3 matches out of 50 would be competitive. It was like, what is even happening right now?
Yeah, you just like pray there's like a Pat Downey or a Richie Lewis on the Iowa Central team or whatever.
For real.
Maybe get a competitive bout. You know what's even weird? You always think, okay, soft start, but imagine being these teams that are like the lambs being thrown to the slaughter. Like, man, I start my season against Iowa. It's like, what a way to get it going.
Yeah, I wonder what it'd be like to be one of those teams. I've never been one of those teams, so I can't.
Like college football.
Let's go in and battle a little bit, and then I guess obviously
I'm
the
guessing they
schedule
don't
will
pay
get
them like
lighter
they do
after
in
that.
football.
I don't know.
Yeah, you probably don't get paid. Like the double whammy is when you like pay a team like $2 million and they come to your place and beat you. That is like that's like the ultimate for any
and that's
team.
happened a lot this season.
App State, who'd they beat? Someone good.
Yeah, they beat somebody good.
Notre Dame.
What?
I think.
Texas A&M, I think, had it happen to them once or twice. It seems like.
Yeah. Little Rock's got it. They're gonna get into it though because they got the Jacksonville thing. So they're also Campbell, Iowa State, and Chattanooga, and then they're at that Mizzou tournament that you guys are covering November 12, and that's I think 6 or 7 teams, something like that. So they got some good ones coming up.
So I wanted to get into a couple things. The Citadel got going against Queens as well. Those were the two duels that
Is
started.
Queens that one that they're going D1 now?
I think they are.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
When though?
Who's the coach there?
Next year, this year?
I think this year they might be postseason eligible. Maybe not till next year. I can't remember.
Queens Wrestling. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm Googling
to be
also.
honest.
It's funny, like how many smaller Division Ones have kind of gotten added because you have Presbyterian, you got Long Island. Is that
Island.
the name of the college?
Mm-hmm.
You
Cal
got
Baptist.
Queens, Bellarmine, Cal Bap. You got kind of a lot of these smaller D1s. So like the numbers for Division One is slowly growing here.
So Rob Tate is the head wrestling coach.
Okay.
His
And,
email,
Linda was
his
going
email
D1
is
too.
his email is tater@queens.edu because it's Tate R. It just says Tater. Tater Tot. Coach Tate, I don't think I've had the pleasure. This man he's got some long flowing locks. Look at this guy.
He does.
Tyler could maybe pull it in later on. Anyway,
Guys,
so we're gonna get.
Presbyterian, are they wrestling now?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think. Pretty sure they were at conference last year. They were at SoCon.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're in the mix.
Yeah. They're in the mix. Yep.
So I wanted to do a couple things on the show. One, I like doing. We're gonna continue the countdown, counting down the teams. We're into the top 10. The number 10 team is Northwestern, so we should get to them at a minimum. I made lines because I'm not gonna be here tomorrow.
Oh, we're doing this
Oh, you're not
already?
gonna be here
We're
tomorrow?
doing
I'm not
this?
gonna be here tomorrow. Bray will be on. So I was like, man, I'll make some lines. I think I did a good job. You can criticize them if you want. These are some of the bigger matches. There could be bigger matches this week, but I'm kind of like, I don't think these guys will be there. Like, I don't think Austin O'Connor and Bryce Andonian are both going to go to the Southeast Open. I don't think we'll see
It's
O'Connor.
probably a safe bet.
I don't see Makai Lewis wrestling against Lout. There are other good
What
ones.
if we do though?
But if we do, we will just live a life of regret, Ben. That's where we're gonna be.
Is Long Island D1 eligible this year also?
I don't know if they're eligible or not.
I think they are.
Okay.
I hope so. It's a weird thing when these teams switch to D1 and then they're not allowed to compete. There's Rob Tate.
So
look
weird.
Look at Tater.
So many years.
Queens.edu. You like that hair?
Robert. Love
Like,
it so much here.
Linden
Woods
Woods
also.
making the transition. It's like they can't
Takes
compete
forever.
at D1 Nationals for 4 years. Why are you punishing
Why-
a team?
yeah.
for
What did
moving
they?
up?
It's not like they're going down. If they're going down, I would understand. It's like
course.
okay, that makes sense. But
So EIWA, Long Island is in the EIWA. They have it on the schedule, so I'm assuming they're D1 eligible.
yes, I think
Fair
so.
guess, right?
Okay. Where do we want to go right now? Do we want to go to the lines?
I
Caleb
love
could-
lines.
Oh my gosh, Caleb made the background of his Google a picture of Rob Tate. Go ahead. I don't know how you found that so fast. There, that's just Rob Tate's face there. So big Rob Tate fan, Caleb Pyles. That's funny, isn't it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we do these best matches lines? You want to start with that?
Yes,
Let's get it.
I do.
Let's get it. All right. The biggest match of the week, I think, bar none, that is going to happen is DJ Hamady versus David Carr. These two did not wrestle last year. They did
Different
not.
weight classes.
Different weight classes. So that's the main reason. So I set the line at Carr minus 2.5.
What? Really?
Yeah, you think that's too much? You really like Hamady in this one.
I don't know if you guys noticed he had a really good year last year.
Yeah, and David Carr's a national champion. Do you think this is like a toss-up?
I think it's going to be very competitive. So I'm going to look up how many. I feel as though
A 3-point win
Hamady
is
did not
competitive.
lose to very many people by more than that many points. So he lost to Shane Griffith relatively decisively. I guess he lost to Marinelli by 3 the first time. He lost 3 the first time, 1 the second time.
Mm-hmm.
And then injury defaulted the third time. Lost to Amin by 2 points. So he only
Griffith beat him by
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
Bull beat him by 3. Yeah, those are the biggest, most lopsided losses he suffered.
Yeah.
Well,
Because I want to go Carr. I think Carr's gonna win the match, but I
Mhm.
feel like it's gonna be competitive. So now I'm very split on which way to go. Where are you
wanna
going,
get a sheet
JD?
going so we can keep up with this.
Yeah.
So my as I think about this, Matt. Well, let's go to Shane. Shane, what do you think about this one?
I think I would take Hamity with the points.
Yeah, he's in the Big Ten. So
Yeah, I mean, one of the things about Hamity, I mean, this is kind of what happened in the first Marinelli match is, he's gonna keep trying to win, and so I think I'm pretty sure it was he gave up a late takedown or something to lose by 3. Otherwise, it would have been closer, I think, or maybe it was lose by 2, and then he had ride time given up also, something to that effect. I don't really see him riding. He is pretty good on top, but Carr, I don't recall Carr getting ridden for any significant period of time ever. And positionally, Carr moves really well. So yeah, I'll go Carr by 3.
yeah, see, I'm envisioning Carr's maybe up 1 late, and Hamity's coming hard, and one last reattack to put up 3, and there's the ride out. So I think Carr. I love Hamity. It's a huge test for Carr up at this weight class. He has wrestled at 74 kilograms a lot, so it's not like it's not going to shock his system, and I think his style is going to be fine up at 165. So,
and I mean, it'll be interesting to me to see if Hamity has made any progress over the offseason, because lots of times, I think of like Keegan, for example, how much better Keegan was in year 2 than year 1. And if you look at an aggregate of all college wrestlers, the biggest jump, if there is a jump or there's jumps, the biggest jump is going to come year 1 to year 2.
right.
There are times when it comes later because a kid figures something out or they get their lifestyle in order or something to that effect. But year 1 to year 2 is usually a gigantic jump for kids. So it'd be interesting to see if he has made a jump. If so, what is it?
Yeah, Hamity's one of my favorite guys and to watch at any weight, really.
Mm-hmm.
He's relentless. I just think Carr will be sharp, ready. I mean, after the way the season concluded for Carr, I think this is going to be important to get his season started the right way. So that's my thought. It could
And
be
he had a
1 or 2.
bad U20s also.
True. Yeah.
0-1, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So and Shane took Shane may not always be here for the pick'ems, but we can give him a column just so it's
Shane
documented.
hates pick'ems.
Who hates pick'ems? Shane?
Shane.
Yeah, he doesn't like to. When it's Big Ten versus non-Big Ten, it's easy for him because he'll just pick that.
It's like baseball postseason. I mean, tell me, and again, it's all fun. I mean, that's why we do it. It's fun. But I know about 5% of the data necessary to make an educated pick. So I'm throwing stuff at the walls. I mean, how are their girlfriends doing? Tell me that.
Oh, my gosh. Shane is big on how the girlfriend.
How are they affected by
I'm
their
huge into all that stuff.
He's big
He's
big into girlfriends.
How did you sleep this week? I mean, all that stuff.
But that's one of those things. I feel like, okay, Shane, I feel like all that stuff, like I said, I said this when athletes make jumps, sometimes athletes are not living the right lifestyle and they figure it out. Maybe it takes 2 or 3 or 4 years of college, right? And then it clicks for them. But I think even without knowing, personally knowing an athlete, you can generally guess by performances which ones have very stable lifestyles. That's diet, that's sleep, that's choice of partner, and they're the ones who are performing really well all the time. And then there's certain ones that are like, like, I don't know what it is. Is it their girlfriend? I don't know. Is it their girl on the side? I don't know. Is it their diet? I'm not sure, but you don't know what to expect out of them. So I feel like without knowing them, you can kind of guess on those things.
Sidepiece Radio Live. Yeah.
Shane or Christian, who is your favorite roller coaster athlete of all time where you just weren't sure what you were going to get out of them?
Oh, man, that's a great question.
That is a good one. Roller coaster. Man. Dylan Ness was a wild ride.
Oh, Dylan Ness was a wild ride.
Dylan Ness was.
He was roller coaster in not just in performance, but in matches.
Matches.
The matches were roller coasters, but he would, like, Ian Miller pinned him, I think, in the first period one time, cradled him up.
Ian Miller's a little bit like a roller coaster also.
Sort of, for sure.
Part of what made Ness such a roller coaster is the game moving and game-ending move potential.
Yeah, you couldn't count him
Like
out.
you could never count him out.
Alton, yep. Ross Patton says Alton.
Ooh, Alton,
Andrew Alton was
Alton versus Grahal.
Yeah.
That's
Greatest
like
match of all
all-time
time.
roller coaster right there.
that's an all-time roller coaster match, and no one wanted to get. None of the coaches wanted to get on that roller coaster again. Be like, I do not want to coach that match again. That is insane.
Jim Gibbons always had the line about Eric Grajales that he was tired coming off the bus.
That's messed up. That is messed up.
That's
He'd
messed
take-
up yet true.
Yeah, true. Yet true. Yet his conditioning won him that match somehow. He met the perfect counterpart for him with Andrew. Okay.
That was
Yeah,
awesome.
good question. Roller coaster wrestlers. I don't know who the most roller coaster wrestler is in
Right now?
Right now. Who's up and down?
Yeah, who is up and down?
Pat McKee.
Oh,
These
there you go, that's a
golfers,
good
you know,
one.
they got a lot of roller coaster types. You know, sometimes
Yeah.
they're good, sometimes not so much.
That's a great one. I mean, it's got to be McKee right now.
You know,
right?
this guy on the front side, he'll lose to anybody, but you know, on the back side, he'll get the Hodge. He'll flip you right over. He'll flip you right over.
Tell him it's all the wrestlebacks and he wins the Hodge.
Oh man. So yeah, Pat
That's
McKee,
funny.
tough to beat. Tough to beat.
Let me see. I'm gonna take some peeks at some other ones while you guys make some more picks, and I'll make my picks also. I'll see if I got any more roller coaster athletes.
Yeah. Yeah, there's got to be others, but
Well, you know, a crazy one was Vito last year. He loses to Glory, then he tech falled him, and then he lost to him again.
It's kind of just that rivalry, though.
Yeah,
Like,
but tech
those two
fall,
don't
I mean,
really
it wasn't
have-
like it wasn't like he lost by 2 and then won by 2. He tech falled him.
I know it's absurd, but it's not like those two have roller coaster performances to other people.
Yeah,
It's
true,
just to each other.
yeah. Yaya Thomas is a roller coaster.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's
But
like,
he's
man, this
just
guy.
because it's always in the margins.
Yeah, but sometimes he was piecing some dudes up the year he got third.
Can it be counted as a roller coaster if like they never go back up? Really?
You stop it. He's coming back up.
No, I'm saying
Roller
I
coasters
was
always
talking
end at the
about Zeke
bottom,
Moisey.
JD.
Oh,
They
Zeke
always
Moisey.
end where they started.
Yeah.
I was talking about Zeke Moisey because like he
Yeah.
balled out at
Good
NCAAs
one.
and then came back down to earth, but he never really got back up
He
there.
placed again. Not high, but it happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, he never recaptured that magic.
No.
I mean, this man beat Nashawn Garrett, Eddie Clamara, and Thomas Gilman.
Oh my goodness
What
gracious.
the heck? I know Eddie is like sort of 6, but he had never beaten Eddie Clamara at that year. They wrestled like 2 or 3 times. He had never beaten him, and then he beats him. Nashawn.
Darren Caldwell, a bit of a roller coaster.
Yeah, he's more like after his injury, he was just never really the same.
Yeah, fortunately. But he
Unfortunately.
did. I mean, before the injury though,
He did
he obviously
He
got
was teched by.
He just
killed
took
by
Metcalf and then
Metcalf
beat him
and
in
then
the NCAA
killed
finals.
him in the finals. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was that.
Caleb wants to have a tech fall this year in wrestling season. That's one of his goals.
Let's go, Caleb.
What grade is Caleb in?
Can you talk?
You can tell him,
I'm in
Caleb.
6th grade.
6. That's what I thought. I would have guessed right.
Yeah,
Good to see you, man.
he's pretty big for a 6th grader.
I'm very small.
Okay.
How
So
about
that
Ja'Cory?
Ja'Cory, kind of a roller coaster, but he doesn't really lose to.
People he's not supposed
Yeah.
to toss up ish matches.
You need to yeah.
But I guess he'll have these really close matches where you're like, why is he having a competitive match against this guy who's not even close to as good as him?
Yeah, I feel you. Dang, yeah, I gotta.
Mhm.
If you don't know, you have to log in to WrestleStat to look at stuff now. So I gotta do that. And I
You
don't
know what? I'm annoyed I had to log in this morning, but WrestleStat, you're worth it.
Wow,
For you,
Guys, who
WrestleStat.
runs that website?
Yeah, who runs that website?
the Illuminati.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Okay. Next
Looking
one.
for more roller coaster athletes. I haven't thought. I think we picked out the best of the best here.
We did a good job. Maybe some.
did
You
a
know,
good
here's
job.
hoping we get some.
Oh,
more
I got one.
roller
I got an all timer here. A legend. He's not eligible this year, but someone made me. Mike Labrilla made me think of him. Taylor Venz, all-timer on the roller coaster.
Yeah.
All-timer.
The Vinza coaster was crazy.
He was crazy.
He was like third or fourth his freshman year, and then you just never knew.
Remember that one year, the years the Heat was on like Hodge pace. He freaking almost beats the Heat like the first week, and then he would lose to like terrible guys. And
him and Emery Parker from Illinois would have some good scraps.
Yeah, Emery Parker was fun.
Yeah. Those two were throwing
just
haymakers at each other.
Quentin Wright.
Quentin's sophomore year was that was an ultimate roller coaster season. But really, it was just like, boom, sophomore year, and then he was like the 9 seed at Big Tens, won.
He was the 8. I think he was the 8 seed because Travis Rutt was the 1 seed that year. And I remember I was on the Badger bus that was at Northwestern, I believe. And I remember when those brackets came out, everybody was like, "Yikes! This is better be ready to roll right here."
Yeah, he was a monster. I remember I so vividly remember that year because, well, one, it was like the first Penn State year, so a lot of energy around that. But I was big into fantasy wrestling. It was huge for me. I was like focused, and I had Quentin, and it was a roller coaster. But like, I don't think that's the year, and I don't even think that's the year he got majored by Kevin Steinhaus. I think that was the next year. But yeah, he was unreal at the end there.
You guys should make this. This was a fun. We did not mean to make this segment happen today, but this is a really fun segment. All-time volatility team. That's what we should call it.
Oh man,
and you guys should...
Ross Patton, Deuce Ratchell.
No, people just pin or get pinned. That doesn't count.
I like that. That's a roller coaster because one of two.
Brandon Metz, throw him out there every time.
Brandon Metz and Deuce Ratchell. We got to make that match happen. That's
going to be on a Flow O&O event.
Yeah.
Shane, this is your fault because you brought up you don't know if their girlfriend is going to be dumping them or something.
Shout out to girlfriends. All right, Casey Swiderski versus Joey Zargo. That to me is an interesting match. You say Zargo.
Let me ask you a question with Zargo here.
Okay.
I was thinking this last week. Tell me if I'm crazy or if somebody asked me today, give me a Big Ten wrestler that most people don't know that are going to know, I go Joe Zargo, but then I saw he's ranked 11th in the country, I believe, right?
Yeah, he had some good wins last year.
He came on towards the end.
He's tough, man.
Yeah, I think he beats Swiderski because Swiderski only beat the Frost kid by a point, and Frost is not that good in my opinion. So I guess we'll see what Swiderski's made of. As far as Zargo is concerned, he's got a good motor and goes hard, but he makes a ton of mistakes. So this would be another one where now he's been in college 2 years, but he had a red shirt, so it'd be like, does he make this improvement? Does he shore up some of those positions that he wasn't that good in? Because there's definitely some of those positions.
Yeah. I made Swiderski the favorite here by a point and a half or by 0.5.
Yeah.
I'm taking Casey.
I'm taking Zargo. I mean, if you're Zargo, this is a match you need to win.
Yeah, so he got tech fall by Nick Lee 16-0. He got shut up by Frankie Tal-Shahar. This is where he's not very good on bottom. We're talking about weaknesses. So Tal-Shahar lost 5-0. Nick Lee 16-0. Andrew Alirez 8-0. And so some of those times on bottom, he just is not that great.
I love hype trains. I'm on the Swiderski one. What did you?
Until it falls off the rails.
You were in the room. How'd he look?
They look good. They were hyping him up.
Why do you only beat Frost that point then?
I mean, because because of the wrestle off one, and because
why
did Carson Karchel lose his wrestle off?
Yeah, his teammate.
Because he sucks on bottom. Duh.
That is
obvious.
Another reason.
But those guys have actually been teammates. I mean, in all fairness, Swiderski and Frost have been teammates for about 6 weeks now.
I mean, they both got on campus in May. And I've been living in Ames since graduation, high school graduation.
They moved there since in May, both of them.
Early June, yeah, late May, early June.
All right, 5 months. All right, it's a little longer.
Yeah, you wrestle with someone 5 months. There's a level of familiarity there.
I think I didn't watch the match, but heard it might have been a cardio issue or a weight cut issue too, because he looked apparently really good the first period and then kind of fell off a cliff a bit.
So Zargo goes hard, which makes that worrisome for Swiderski, but It's the last match of the day, which means it'll be 8-9 hours from weigh-in, so the weight cut should no longer be an issue, you know.
Badger Booster Ben taking 2 Badgers in our line so far. Let's go to the third match.
Yeah.
This would be the name, and I don't know if this counts, but you're asking for a Big Ten name that's going to break out and become like household is Jesse Mendez.
He's kind of already though, isn't he?
Broken out. He's out of the.
Yeah.
He done
Yeah.
broke. Okay.
No.
I would
He's already
say
broke out.
I think that's a little bit of us being in our wrestling world all the time. I think if you go to a lot of places that just follow college wrestling, they don't know who Jesse Mendez is, and most wrestling fans just follow college wrestling. So I know we know him, but
What number
skeptical of you,
recruit was he
Pyles.
overall last year? Top 3?
Yeah.
yeah,
2
for
Right.
sure.
1.
Yeah.
Was it Feldman 1, Swiderski 2, Mendez 3?
Yeah.
I got to check that.
Yeah. So pretty high. He was number 1 for a while, and then he lost to Swiderski 2 different times.
But now it's funny because Mendez is down at wrestling at 33, and we're saying Swiderski's a big 41, or he had trouble making weight or something to that effect. So that was kind of one of the points that you made last year, Christian, is Swiderski looked a lot bigger, and they probably wouldn't be wrestling the same weight this year.
Yeah. So different weight classes for those two. They're separated. I said so we could see Lucas Bird versus Jesse Mendez at the Michigan State Open live on Flow.
Oh yeah, let's go. That's a good
Bird,
one.
I said -1.5 favorite. I
For
don't know
those
if that's
two?
What's that?
-1.5 for those two. I'm not on the line. Sorry, I'll go there.
Oh yeah, just open. So I have Bird the favorite by 1.5. So is that a pretty
Bird
good line?
lost one early last year, right? I mean, he just had a couple
Well, here-
losses on the season. But I thought he had one. Did he have one at the Michigan State Open last year?
Yeah, the Michigan State
Yeah.
Open last year.
133 was
The
wild.
Oklahoma guy beat Lucas Bird. Anthony Madrigal's his name. He beat Bird,
Okay.
Ragusin, and Rayvon Foley.
But where is Madrigal?
He's still in Oklahoma.
The Family Madrigal. That's the show that my kids love. What's it called?
I don't know.
Encanto. You don't know about that one yet, Christian.
Do you know that show, Caleb?
It's a movie. It has the "We Don't Talk About Bruno" song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't talk about Bruno. Yeah, I don't know that one, and we don't talk about Bruno. So I've got, man, I'm going Mendez. I'm just getting on hype trains. That's my picking theme right now. I've got Mendez.
All hype trains.
Because he could lose by
I'll go
1
Mendez
and I
in
win.
this one. Yep, I'll go Mendez in this one.
I'm the
Oh.
president of the Lucas Bird fan club, so I am all Bird.
No turning back. Okay.
I love how he wrestles, man. I mean, he is definitely one of my favorite guys to watch.
He's good. Good.
Gosh, he's good. He's so tough.
This is gonna be a big test for Mendez.
I
Big
want to
test.
go Mendez, but I think I'm going Bird.
Bird. So we are once again split.
Oh yeah.
Okay, fun. So that could happen in Michigan State Open. Nebraska and North Dakota State are wrestling, which means we should see Jared Franick versus Peyton Robb. I said
Oh, yeah.
Robb, 1.5 favorite. What say you guys?
I think that's a good line. Now I need to go look up their matches from last year. I feel as though Peyton Robb is a guy who he was a little more consistent last year, but has been up and down a little bit. And I feel as though he may, and this may be in my head, but maybe 157 is tough for him because he did go up to 165 that one year. So being the first match of the year, it concerns me. But I think he's a better wrestler, so I'll go with him.
Yeah.
WrestleStat didn't now WrestleStat's taking me off. It didn't keep me logged in. It logged me out already, and I was logged in 10 minutes ago.
All right, I'm
Wait, what the
making
hell?
one too.
Now
It's funny because I literally was on it this morning and I was looking at a bunch of stuff. And Franick and Robb, I think, I can't remember if they wrestled or not.
It's not signing me in. What the hell's going on here? WrestleStat, get it together. It's saying I'm signed in, but not signing me in because it won't let me look at damn Peyton Robb's record.
I don't know what to tell you. Register. Let's see.
No,
if it
I
works.
need
Hey,
you
I
to
did
know.
it.
No, I keep logging in. It won't let me log in.
All right.
No, I'm trying to look at this freaking see what happened last year. All right. They're making our lives harder. They're making this show worse. We have to go have a talk with them. Where do they live?
I don't. Parts unknown. Where
I
does
think they get a mulligan.
Haunchyville. Oh,
Yeah.
I got it now. All right.
Okay.
So last year they did.
They have not wrestled.
Wow, that's weird. I had to assume that for sure they wrestle because I think they both go to Daktronics and they both go to CKLV. I would have thought they would wrestle for sure.
Yeah, me too. But they did not. So what do you say? Rob, 1.5.
I went Rob.
James? Jermichael Dean?
I think Rob wins this match,
Visualize.
but I'll go Frantic with the point. 1 point match. Rob wins a 1 point match.
I tend to agree with JD on this one. I think this would be, I mean, both these guys wrestle really hard. I think it's going to be a real close match, but I'd give the edge to Rob.
I'll say Rob covers 2 or more.
All right.
Okay, next one. Dylan D'Amelio versus Frankie Talshahar. I think we could see this match. I said D'Amelio minus 4.5.
Is this a dual meet or is this is Michigan State Open?
Michigan State Open.
What'd you go?
4.5.
For D'Amelio?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking Tal Shahar for sure.
For sure?
He has lost. He just lost how do you spell? Damn it! I'm freaking getting the wrong name.
Cater.
Oh my god! You know what movie I watched a couple nights ago with my wife?
What?
I forgot. It's totally underrated funny. The
Toy
other
Story
guys.
2. Oh, the other guys. That is
The
a
other
fun
guys?
one. Yes.
So
Hilarious.
good.
Soup
Kim's
Kitchen.
still-
Guys, I got to jump in here real quick on movies.
Gator. Oh
So-
no, Shane, we can't do this.
I
No.
got to give you this real
You
quick.
gotta
Trust
let
me,
him.
everybody will thank me for this. Give me
we
30
can't do
seconds.
it.
Last night, my girlfriend Lori, we go to the movies. She says, we normally talk about what we're going to see. I have a pretty good idea what we're going to see. So last night, she's getting like her hair done or something. She goes, meet me at the theater at 6:45. Great. I have no clue what we're seeing. No idea. We see this movie called The Policeman. She had no idea what it was about either. Don't go.
Don't go.
Don't go. Don't go.
Policeman. I've never even heard of that. Who's in this?
It was something.
Okay.
Dang, I see he beat him by 6
40% on
last
Rotten
year.
Tomatoes.
Now that I'm on Wrestle.
Oh, Harry Styles.
Harry Styles.
I guess he's a big deal.
We really had no idea what the whole thing was going to be on. It was, it was I don't know, hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. I'll never get back.
You'll never get it back.
It's no Roadhouse. Let's put it that way.
Darn right. What is? What a great movie.
That's a great question.
Excuse me. So the reason the line is so large, Benjamin, is
I just looked. I told you.
Dylan beat him 7-1 last year.
He probably got lucky.
He got lucky 7-1. 7-1 lucky. I think you got lucky in all your bonus point wins.
I might have.
What's D'Amelio ranked?
Like 9th.
Because he's another guy that I really like. I mean, I didn't know where he was ranked, but he's really good.
Yeah.
You know, not that superstar caliber guy, but he's damn good. I mean, I like him.
I did too.
Hey, is Feldman going this weekend or no?
I don't think he is registered. Or no, he's doing freshman sophomore.
Stop.
I swear. So is Buzakis.
This is preposterous.
Buzakis is going freshman sophomore.
Why?
Hold on.
Why? Please tell me, Tom Ryan, for the love of God, please tell me you're changing that. Your assistant misentered them.
Shoemate, Feldman, Buzakis, Geog, all going freshman sophomore division.
I don't hate a couple of those, but Feldman and Buzakis, I mean, these guys are guys who compete at the Junior World Championships. Why would
Which
you
is
put them
also
in
an
the
age-level
freshman
tournament.
sophomore division?
They
Do you have to be a freshman or a sophomore to compete at that?
Yeah, so it's more their comfort. This is Junior Worlds of Michigan State. Literally.
Ben, why do you think that? Because I mean, on the surface, knowing what they're going to have this year, why not just kind of get some confidence?
No, get some confidence. These guys are junior world team members. They don't need confidence. Get out there and see what you're made of here, son. Like, give me a break. I mean, these are guys who have lost so infrequently the last 4 years of their careers. And what we're going to say, 2 losses in the Michigan State Open, if they were to have 2 losses, is going to affect them that greatly. Like, get lost. And I haven't seen the roster, but I'm pretty sure a lot of the other good freshmen and sophomores are wrestling up. So there's certainly no good second and third year guys, which would still be sophomores, wrestling in the freshman and sophomore division. So why we want to send these dudes to roll some dudes up? I just don't understand it at all.
Well, to play on Shane's
play devil's advocate, sure.
I will. I mean, I don't understand how this is any different from a team taking on a non-D1 or a super lower level D1 team to start their season.
I don't actually realize what I wouldn't argue why people do that either. I don't know why. I think it's just for like the in-state maybe. I'm not sure.
No offense, but Missouri's opening with Lindenwood. I think I think most coaches think it's smart to start your season, feel out your timing. There's so much opportunity for tough matches, right? This is not going to be Bouzakis and Feldman's and.
Is there when you're a true freshman though, redshirting?
Yeah.
The new rules, sort of, but
I think get matches, get some wins, get your first college matches under your belt, and then go.
Now, I wish I could see the brackets for these, but I mean, I guess I could go look. I could go look up last year's brackets, but I'm sure some of these freshman and sophomore divisions for a Nick Feldman and a Bouzakis, they're just not high level. And so honestly, I mean, like, hey, I'm wearing my P&L shirt today, PS. And one of the main themes of so there's kind of a bunch of problems that we want to try to solve for.
Yeah.
But one of the main problems is that if the match is 15-0 and it's not competitive, your athlete's likely not getting anything out of that on either side of it, right? Plus or minus.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, well, you could probably do whatever moves you want and you're going to kill this dude because he's just not nearly as good as you. And in big tournaments, that's often what happens in the first 2 or 3 or 4 rounds, right, for certain guys. And so if you could just match the guys up to similarly skilled guys, and so I realize this can't happen in every tournament, right? Because in the national tournament, you have to have everyone enter. But, for a lot of the competitions, if you can create a scramble bracket where guys are similarly skilled, and this is what we did at our first one, then they're going to get something out of every single match, right? They're going to gain something valuable. And so to wrestle these guys in the freshman, sophomore division, man, I can't imagine. Maybe I'll be shocked. I can't imagine that they're going to have a whole bunch of competitive matches.
I think that coaches value that. I think they think that's a good thing.
Yeah, Ben, they're in the Big Ten.
Non-competitive matches are big.
Yeah, but Ben, look at the whole season, and I always look at the whole.
I'm looking at this freshman sophomore division, guys, and so I realize Ohio State is wrestling people here, but like some of these weight classes, they're not very good at all. I'm looking at the results right now. Like there might be 1 or 2 decent guys, but it drops off real quick.
Yeah.
First week in November, hey, you travel, you cut weight, whatever it is, you get in some of these habits, win some matches, feel good, stay healthy. I wouldn't. And you guys know me. I'm normally this kind of stuff. I mean, I get your point, Ben, but I think on this one, if you're Ohio State with these guys, I don't think there's any. I don't think you got to run them through a meat grinder in the first weekend in November.
I also think the why not. There's a why not could be applied. Why not, get your first tournament beat, but why not wrestle in a tougher thing and see where you stack up and then go from there. I think either way is fine. I really don't know.
Like honestly, I'd rather have them not show up than have them freaking wrestle in the freshman sophomore division. Like, why am I going to waste my time?
Yeah.
I mean, for example, the guy who won the Michigan State Open at heavyweight didn't win the Jim Cook Parkside Open.
Well, who was
he went 0-2 at the Illinois Matman Open, which is the Midlands thing,
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we're saying that again, it's pretty low level.
Yeah.
A freshman sophomore division at Michigan State Open is relatively really low level. Like, I don't know. Like,
I just got a text from the big sexy, Ben. So Scott Cleaver just sent me a text. He texted me and said, Feldman beat number 21 Zachary Knighton Ward last year in the Open. Why take a step back? So he sounds like Cleaver's on your side.
Thank you.
I'm kind of with Christian. I mean, either way.
If you know they're
Well,
ready.
don't show up. Listen, I'm good. I am totally good with you guys saying, and actually I loved having 40 matches in the year, and I thought I learned a lot from all of them. And I totally see where coaches say I don't want my kids having that many competitive matches. But like, fine, they don't go. Don't go. But why are you sending Nick freaking Feldman to the Michigan State Open freshman sophomore division? It's preposterous to me.
He is a freshman.
Shut up.
Okay. So you're taking D'Amelio or Tal Shahar minus 4.5. What do you guys say?
Give me
But I thought I already picked.
Tal Shahar.
I think Tal Shahar.
A lot of points, right?
It's a lot of points.
Sucker's line,
I'd
though.
probably take the points.
Mm-hmm. Vegas zone. I'll take. Give me Dylan. Bounce back. Put the points on. That's a lot. It's probably stupid, but here I go. He won by 6 last time. Okay, next one. These next two are in the Lehigh versus Oregon State duel. Live on FloWrestling. Jarrett Lane versus Brandon Kaler. Kaler, a 1.5 favorite.
I'm going Kaler.
I'm going Lane.
I like his offense. He's dynamic. Let's do
I'll
it.
take Taylor too.
Oh my goodness.
I'll go Lane.
Okay. So, if you didn't know,
What?
Lane beat him by 4 last year. So,
You got lucky.
got lucky. That's what you say. That's what you
Really?
say.
That was the past.
That was the past. This is now, to quote Caleb Pyles.
I'm
he was
looking Jarrett Lane up.
when he
Jarrett
was
Lane did not have a great year last year. I guess maybe got hurt because he didn't rest the IWAs, but he had a whole bunch or he probably wasn't a starter because he lost 6 of his last 8 matches.
Mm-hmm. Not a great
His
conclusion.
Not a great conclusion.
Yeah, he was not their guy at EI was. So who knows if he'll be the guy this
Caleb looked great at NCAAs. He whooped up on Barnett on the front side, and then he got pinned on the backside by him. But I mean, he looked pretty good.
Yes. Ross Patton asking if Decatur beat D'Amelio and Wrestleoff. Yes, he did, but I think Decatur's going to redshirt.
Interesting.
That is my opinion.
Oh my gosh, you guys want to hear? You want it? Tyler Durden's trying to talk trash in the YouTube. You want to hear the funniest story that I heard last week? Because I actually talked about this in an interview yesterday, where like, when you're writing your book, sometimes people will tell you stories, and the exchange wasn't meaningful to you, but it was meaningful to them, and they remember it.
Right.
So this dude comes up to me at the Mizzou tailgate. He goes, "Ben, you know who I am?" I said, "Nah, I'm sorry, I don't know who you are." It's an older gentleman. And he said, "Well, I used to run the CMSU Open."
Oh, let's
He
go.
said, and all right, he said you were there. He said you showed up. And so Coach Smith is here also. Coach is at the Mizzou tailgate. Coach Smith is there also. And he said, yeah. He said, your senior year, you showed up, and I said something like, "Where's Max at?" And my response was, "Well, we have a dual meet tomorrow." And then the guy said, "Why are you here?" And I said, "I'm here to pad my stats." the guy thought it was the funniest thing ever. And then Coach Smith's like, "Yeah, I tried telling him not to go, and he just got in his car and went over there anyways."
Did you wrestle freshman sophomore that year?
No,
He tried.
It was. I mean, at least I'm obvious about it. Like, listen, I'm trying to rack up a whole bunch of pins. I was trying to get to 100 damn pins because I want to be the third person ever to get to 100 pins. I didn't quite get there. I should have started early. I should have done it my sophomore year, and I may have got there.
What did you end up at?
You would have entered freshman, sophomore.
But
Okay.
Coach Smith also he let another person wrestle a couple different times, and so if I would have had more foresight, I could have got to 100.
Yeah.
You
got benched a few times, huh?
Well, yeah, I was like,
Tough
hey,
luck.
let's let this other guy get some mat time, and I said, all right, fine, but yeah, I should have tried to get to 100 because there's only been 2 other people ever got to 100.
It is a little ironic that you literally did that, and you're kind of vilifying.
No, I'm not vilifying. No, it's not. I literally, I'm being honest. I was honest then. I'm not like, this is where I should be competing. I'm trying to pad my stats. I know Cole Conrad's going to pin a bunch of dudes. So I'm trying to get like, I had 29 pins that year, I think. 29 out of 42 that year. I'm trying to go pin a bunch of dudes, get this ridiculous stats So I get the Hodge. It was pretty obvious. I was open about it. I don't know. Is Nick Feldman trying to enter the freshman and sophomore to try to get the Hodge trophy? Is that what he's doing?
Maybe.
Maybe he is. Maybe we don't know.
Who are the two with 100? Wade Chalice, one of them?
Chalice and Gene Mills. And they might listen.
Here
They
we
might
go.
get mad because they're not fully verified.
That's right.
This is an era of really strange record keeping, and one has 106 and one has 107, but we're not certain on those numbers for sure.
We're
Okay.
not sure. Okay.
Yes. And I always forget who's number 3. I'm number 4. There's someone at 93, and I always forget who that is.
How many does Kale have?
Not close to me. Sorry, Kale.
He has some other accolades. All
Uh,
right, last one. Trey Munoz versus Tate Samuelson. I said Munoz minus
61. He only had 61.
Wow.
Sorry, not close, Kale.
Coward.
I said Munoz point and a half
Bum.
favorite.
I like Munoz. Let's go Munoz.
I like Munoz a lot too. Samuelson, tough guy. New room, new scenario. How's he gonna look? He loves brown. He goes from Wyoming to Lehigh, so we know Tate Samuelson loves the color brown. I think this is gonna be a crazy close match. It makes me want to take Tate for a 1-point loss and the off chance that he wins, but I think Trey is super good, so I'm gonna go with Munoz.
Yeah.
I'll just follow the crowd here and go with Munoz.
Yeah.
Give me Samuelson.
Hmm?
Give me Samuelson.
Okay.
All right. So here, I looked this up for you guys. He would go on to secure one last fall in the finals, pinning John Hartruppy in 6:35. That appeared to be the record-breaking 107th pin that Mills needed. However, legendary wrestling historian Bob Dillinger, who at the time was the director of the National Wrestling Hall of Fame, cautioned that the record would need to be documented before it was fully recognized.
Okay.
Yes.
We don't really know. It's really
Verifying
sad 'cause,
the results of a career's worth of matches was a daunting task for Dillinger.
Yeah, it is daunting. It's so sad.
Yes.
Like wasn't that long ago they wrestled.
Yeah.
There's literally
It's like it
video
wasn't
of their
the
matches.
1800s.
It's like who thought?
I mean, when is this?
Uh-oh.
1970s, right?
This is 1970, yeah. Okay, I got more. According to Mills, the initial documentation effort came up just short when names for his opponents at one tournament could not be found. However, Mills found the wall bracket from that tournament years later and sent it to the Hall of Fame. He told me, and they're finally able to acknowledge his total of 107 falls.
Because Mills was what, early 80s?
Yeah, sounds about right. Late
Yeah.
70s, early 80s, I think. Yeah.
Mean Gene Mills.
Nasty half Nelson.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all of our lines. We'll be doing this throughout the season. Normally JD does them. He's a good lines maker.
Well, I didn't realize you were going to be gone. I was planning on doing them.
Well, it's okay. Yeah. We can do this one.
Oh, I got more. I got more information has just
Oh my
come to the
gosh.
docket. You ready for this?
Okay. Release the documents, sir.
So then Jay Hammond gets in the mix here in 2007,
Yeah.
and he wanted to he needed to be regarded with some doubt unless they'd been validated. To that end, Hammond had been working on validating both totals for Mills and Chalice, though records were incomplete. They had 127 of Chalice's 159 bouts, and they had uncovered 110 of 100 Mills' 150 bouts. In those matches, Chalice had 86 falls and Mills only had 61.
Uh-oh.
If that was accurate, Mills could not have had more than 101 falls, which fits with what I found as well. Chalice's total could be accurate, but it's important to understand it had not been completely done. Give me the damn crown. We're not very. Oh, Larry Bielenberg has
You need to
94.
wrestle
You said
He's
you're
old
fourth.
though
them at the
too.
same
Take it
time
away
to
from
get
him.
it.
You said you were fourth, though.
Well, I said Larry Bielenberg is number 3.
Where's he from?
Oregon State. He's old also though, so we're not sure about him. Just tell. I'm just gonna say
This
I'm
is
the
Aegis
best.
Ben.
player.
Aegis Ben
Oh,
Askren. I was just going to say it. Aegis Ben.
You just hate the olds.
Yeah.
Yeah, Larry
Unreal.
Bielenberg was also in the 70s.
Respect your elders.
Keith
Plus,
Gothard.
more dudes sucked back then. You know, they're probably easier to pin.
Exactly. You would be getting like 30 pins in today's wrestling.
Unreal. Okay.
So funny.
All right, we're gonna do a quick Iowa preview with Caleb. We're gonna go through the lineup and get his predictions.
Oh, I love it. Let's go, Caleb.
So Caleb, I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna give the weight class. You tell me who's the starter and how you think they're gonna do. Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's start. We'll start at the weight of weights. Your weight class, your favorite weight class, 125 pounds. Who we got for the Hawks?
Spencer Lee.
Okay. Any predictions on his season?
He's gonna win. No, he's gonna win.
Okay. Shane really likes Patrick Glory. Now, I'm not saying Shane's picking, but he thinks he's pretty dang good. What do you think about
guys,
Glory?
remember this. Last year, I took a ton of heat for saying that Patrick Glory could win it. He took second. It wasn't embarrassing, and he took second in a really good match. But Spencer Lee's the favorite, no question. But, yeah, Patrick Glory's really good.
Now, he turned Spencer last time they wrestled, Caleb. Does that make you nervous at all?
No.
Not at all.
Do Spencer's mounting injuries make you nervous?
No.
What
Why
do
are
you
you
think?
guys trying to sow seeds of doubt in my guy here?
Okay, let's move on. 133 pounds. Who's gonna be the guy for the Hawks?
Brody Teskey, I think.
You think it'll be Teskey? You think he'll? Who else is in the mix?
Colin Shaver.
Okay. How do you think Brody's gonna do?
I think he'll make it to the blood round.
Blood round? That'd be pretty good. I think that's about right. All right. Any other thoughts on 133? That's gonna be a hotly contested weight class for sure. Now let's get to 141. Who's going for Iowa?
Real Woods.
All right. Give me the breakdown there.
He's probably gonna win.
Really?
Yeah.
National champ. He lost to Cole Matthews last year. He got thrown to his back.
Sure.
He was standing up, and then he was thrown down and landed on his spine.
Sure.
Do you think that's going to happen again?
No.
Okay. They're wrestling in the All-Star, so maybe you'll get to see that match.
Okay.
Okay. Now, you may have to fight Shane for this one, because Max Murin is like his favorite guy. So I don't know.
All-time favorite.
Well, we know
He's
149
on my list of guys I wouldn't want to wrestle. I mean,
Yeah.
he's just, yeah.
Now, does Max get over the hump this year?
Yeah, he'll get 7th.
Talking to the mic.
He's gonna get 7th.
7th place?
There you go.
That would be pretty sweet. Shane,
Yeah.
do you agree? You think this is the year?
I think that's a really good pick. Yeah.
Getting over the hump. All right, now here's a tough
Shane,
one.
that's a high enough for you. Come on, go higher.
Yeah, I'd probably have him a little higher, but I mean, that weight class is, I just think that weight class get a few guys that are probably, Miron's going to have to make some big gains if he wants to get in that top echelon, but he, you know how it is with him. I mean, he could, if you told me he took 4th, I'd believe you. If you told me he took 7th, I'd believe you.
What if I told you he didn't place?
That would surprise. This is his time. This is his time. I'd be very, very surprised if he didn't place. I think he's on a mission.
I think I'd believe you, Ben. Okay, here you're gonna earn your money's worth on this one. 157 for Iowa. Who's it gonna be?
I don't even know
Prognosticate.
any of them.
Well, do you have any names? Do you know any names?
Ratchy.
Okay.
Ratchy, there we go.
Joe
That's how it's
Kelly?
gonna be.
Yeah.
Joe Kelly could be in the mix. Who else?
Who?
Raina.
Raina. Okay, so you know those guys. Do you have any idea who it's gonna be?
No.
Okay. I don't really either, to be honest with you. Predictions for that weight. So let's say, okay, it's any of those 3 wrestlers. How did they do?
They'll barely qualify in TAAs.
Okay. Barely qualify for NCAAs, but that's still qualifying. Okay, 165. Who they got?
Patrick Kennedy.
Give us the breakdown on Patrick. How's he gonna do?
5th or 6th.
Okay, that'd be pretty good.
It's pretty high in a tough weight.
65 has, as we mentioned, every show. Keegan O'Toole, Shane Griffith, and David Carr. They're all NC2A wrestling champions. Not to mention Cam Amin, Hamady, Karchla, Hall. If he does that, he is much improved. But Kennedy's a beast. All right. That could be a guy, Shane, for kind of getting into becoming like more known within the Big Ten.
Yeah, that was
ranks.
the second guy the first 2 guys that came to my mind were Zargo and Kennedy. So it's funny you bring that up.
Yep. Kennedy, I think he's gonna be really good for sure this year.
Come on. I don't
what?
buy it.
You don't buy that he's going to
back. Why? He's already been at Iowa 2 years. Why is he going to be any better this year? Who's got a lot better at Iowa? Name one person.
Who's gotten better at
Way
Iowa,
better,
Caleb?
significantly better. I'm waiting.
Oh, Patrick Kennedy.
Oh, Patrick Kennedy has.
How? Prove it.
We can't prove it yet.
Prove that.
I mean, I will take your silence as affirmation of my statement.
Guys have gotten better at Iowa. Come on.
Warner.
Who?
Yeah, Warner got better.
Warner was
definitely.
like the number one recruit, guys.
Okay, well, then this is not fair because you're basically saying if they're a good recruit, you can't get better.
No. If the like who came in there as like not that great and then was really good. I mean,
Daniel
Warner.
Dennis.
Yeah, but who came in on the flip side, Ben? Who came in that was really good? That
No. They all. My point is they all pretty much stay where they're at. So I would assume it's the same with Kennedy.
yeah, but a lot of programs get guys that come in really good and they don't make it.
But my point with Kennedy is he's not going to make a jump. That's my whole point. That's all I'm saying. He's probably going to be like a 10 through 20 guy.
I thought Kimmer took a pretty decided jump when he went up to 74.
Kemmer was like really good his freshman year. Really good.
I mean, he was like 6th at Big Tens.
No, that was when he got injured that year. Now I got to look this up.
No. Well,
Yeah, that was for sure. Hold on. Michael Kemmer wrestle stat. I'm going there. Oh my God, he's got too many seasons. I'll never be able to find it. He was 33-3 his freshman year.
I mean, I didn't say he was bad.
Knucklehead. What did I say? I said
What
he was
he did-
good.
what
Now, all your credibility just got stolen, Pyles. He was 33-3, and he got decked by Palacio in a freaking Granby. Don't you remember this?
We call it a Peterson.
Peterson.
In this house, we call it a Peterson.
No, it was a Granby
sir.
to a Peterson, wasn't it?
He didn't like do a Granby roll.
And
Austin
his other two
DeSanto got a lot
his other
better.
two losses were to Jason Nope. No, he didn't. Stop. He was the same guy. Okay, listen. Austin DeSanto's first year at Iowa, what did he take? 3rd. What did he take his last year at Iowa?
That's just that's a flawed. That's a flawed.
No, how's it flawed?
I'll tell you this.
He took
Tony
third, and then he took third.
Tony
He actually was
Cassiope.
worse.
Tony Cassiope was much better last year than he was the year before, and he
Let me
placed
see
7th, I think.
I might
He was
give you Tony
better.
Cassiope.
If Tony Cassiope last year wrestles Tony Cassiope from 2 years ago, he beats him by 4. Like he was much better.
Let me look at Cassiope this time.
Spencer Lee is much better now than he was.
Oh
when
yeah.
he first
He
showed
won a
up.
national. You guys know he won a national title when he showed up. You know that, right?
I get it.
You're
I get
aware
it,
of
but he's still better. He's still gotten better.
Listen, Cassiope's freshman year, he was 20-3. He has losses to Gable Stevenson, and Mason Paris. Like, how are you gonna tell me he's improved? Then no, guys, you're all.
Man.
I know you're emotionally tied to the viewpoint you're wanting to put here, but
No,
there's
of
factual
course
evidence.
he's
There's
better.
not. He lost to freaking
Come on.
Gable twice to Mason Paris. Mason
Ben,
Paris is having an
I
all-time
love you to
season.
death. I love you to death, and I think your opinions are normally spot on.
And this
This
one is
by
also.
far is the most that you and I
Okay,
don't agree.
Christian. Sorry, Christian.
You can't base it on
No,
results
no.
all the time.
What do you? How else do you base it?
Ben, you just
How
can't.
else do you base it? No, that's exactly how you do it. Otherwise, you're emotionally drawn to certain viewpoints, and then when you start looking at logic and result, sorry, Caleb, I totally took your session. I'm really sorry, Caleb, but now I'm fired up, so I got to keep going. Okay,
You don't have to
Tony
stop.
Cassiope, freshman year, his freshman. I mean, you guys just brought up Michael Kemmer. He had 2 losses to Jason Nolf, an all-timer, and then he got accidentally pinned by Dylan Palacio. Sorry,
Accidentally?
Palacio. But
How
that
many
was,
intentional
that
pins
was,
are
that
you
was a
aware
hammer,
of?
bro. He probably should have only had 3 losses, and it would have been to Jason Nolf in the national finals also. And
hate when I
then,
get
right,
accidentally
and
pinned.
Cassiope,
All my pins were
he has-
accidental.
He has 2 losses to Gable Stevenson and 1 to Mason Paris, and Mason Paris was ridiculous that year. So no, you can't prove to me that these guys got better. Last year he took 7th, and he had a loss to Mason Paris, Jordan Wood. He didn't have any loss to Jordan Wood that first year. And I mean, come on, he hasn't gotten better.
Corey Clark definitely got better. I would say
Okay, you can point to a few.
Tony
But-
Ramos definitely got better.
Thomas Gilman got
Gilman,
better. I know he didn't have the results he wanted, but he got better. I mean,
He
heck,
for sure
he didn't
was
start
better.
his first year.
yeah, for sure he got better. Man,
All right,
Montel
let's
Marion.
hold this viewpoint. All right, I'll bet you guys. I will bet you guys. I'll make a bet right now. Patrick Kennedy never finishes higher than 6th place at NCAAs.
In his
Kennedy?
career?
In his career.
I'm not accepting that bet.
You don't think he'll finish higher than 6th?
No.
Honestly,
That's
when
a
you think,
lie.
that's a lie,
I mean,
Caleb.
you guys are confident in holding his viewpoint, then you can bet it.
I'll do it. I'll take it.
Okay, what are we betting on?
Somebody getting tased.
Loser got to shave their head, Shane.
What's that?
Losers got to shave their head.
Hold her
Someone
buzz.
got nervous. Someone got nervous
man.
there.
I don't think you're giving these guys enough credit, Ben,
No,
to
I
maintain
am.
what they've done. Like,
No, Iowa has great recruits and they have this great culture and people love going there. But when you look at the real, and I do, when you look at the real data, Shane, the data doesn't back up your viewpoint here. It really doesn't. I mean, there's actually a significant amount of guys who, like a Kemmerer, who because of the grind, they have worse senior years than their first year. Right? That happens.
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to be there 7 years, but I'd say that about most.
Yeah, no one should do college wrestling for 7 years.
Yeah,
It's just a weird
yeah.
time with Stevan and Kimmer and some of these guys end up there for forever. But, yeah. Listen,
And everyone's gonna say, "Oh, Ben hates Iowa," and obviously they're not my favorite program ever. But at the same time, I look at the results, guys. I mean, look at you guys wanted to yell at me for Cassiope.
And look at the results.
No,
They
you
fucking
want
won
to
a
yell-
team title 2 years ago, and I mean, they're always
No,
good.
what I said, yeah, because of their history, they're elite at recruiting, and they got a lot of really, really good guys. But then when you look at the rate of improvement, you guys tried. I mean, you tried arguing Cassiope and Kemmerer, and I just negated those arguments really easily.
Tony Cassiope was much better last year than he was.
No, you're wrong, Shane. The stats prove he only lost to Gable and Mason Paris the first year. That's it. And then last year he lost to Jordan Wood also.
you got Del Garbino.
I mean, Tony
last year.
Cassiope was
You
going
forgot
to be the
about-
3 seed.
No, I remember Del Garbino from
He got
Harvard.
Del Garbino of
And he
Princeton.
got Del Garbino also. Tony Cassiope was going to finish third at NCAAs in 2020. He finished 7th last year. Okay, that's not better. All right, we can move on.
Okay.
74.
174, Caleb. Who's going to be the Iowa starter there? How are they going to do?
Nelson Brands, I think.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's probably who's going to be. How do you think Nelson does? The son of Terry, you know.
That was Tom.
No.
Oh.
Terry's son.
He'll make. I don't think he'll make it to the blood round.
Really? You think he loses before?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Caleb's already jaded. He could make the blood round. I think 174 is not that deep. I think if you're looking for a weight where Iowa can do pretty well, I think Nelson could get to the blood round and
He
then.
never said he couldn't.
True. You didn't. 184. Who we got?
Ava Sod.
All right. How are we thinking?
Same thing as Nelson Brands, I guess.
Yeah, he's got to get better for sure. They want to score there. All right. 197. What's happening?
Jacob Warner's gonna win.
He's gonna win.
I think
He's gonna beat Max Dean.
Max Dean's bald.
What did you say?
He said
What's
Max,
That's true.
He said Max Dean's bald. I don't,
Come on.
So is Cale Sanderson, and so is Granddad. You know, there's some
Yeah,
bald.
they aren't wrestling while they're bald.
Cale Sanderson
was.
made a
They were
world
wrestling
team
while they're
while
bald.
bald.
Oh
Read
my
a
God.
book.
That was
Tremendous.
not in college.
That was not in college. I think Alex Marinelli was bald. He was still pretty tough.
Sometimes.
Max Dean won NCAAs.
Yeah, because he's bald.
Okay, so now he won because he's bald?
Yes.
All right.
He's like the opposite of Samson.
Okay.
So, Caleb, that's your third champ for the Hawkeyes. You got 3 Hawkeye champs.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's get to the big boys. Who we got?
Anthony Cassiope.
Anthony.
I think it's Anthony. Is it Anthony?
Well, I think his birth name is Anthony, but most people call him Tony. But you can call him Anthony. I think that's cool.
Anthony.
Ben's got Cassiope going, what, 1 and 2 at the NCAA?
1 and 2 at NCAAs.
No, guys, they pretty much stay where they are. So yeah, he's going to be like
gonna get
a
third.
3 through 5 guy, and maybe if the weight class clears out, maybe he does a little better. I'm not wrong though. I just looked up Jacob Warner. He was 22-6 as the first year and 21-6 last year. Obviously, he kind of had a good NCAAs. And I looked up Thomas Gilman because you guys keep bringing up him not being a starter. During his non-starting year, he
won
beat
Midlands.
national champion Jesse Delgado. He beat Dylan Peters. He beat Eddie Clamara.
Midlands.
He beat Darian Cruz, and
Yeah.
who would lose Darian Cruz his last year. So, yeah, I mean, Thomas Gilman may not have been a starter, but he was still performing at a very, very high level. And I think you would have a hard time arguing that he got that much better his senior year when he was beating the national champ his freshman year.
Wow.
His only losses that year were to Corey Clark, who was the starter, and in the room with him, and Nico Megaludis. And then there was the one where he got pinned. You guys remember where he got decked by Sam
Brancale. Yeah.
That was wild.
That's right. Yeah.
And then
I was at that
we
match.
listened to that interview that Mike Evans did after that match where he's like, you can't be going out there and getting wing dinged, and you definitely can't go out there and getting wing dinged twice. Talking about that
That was
match.
the craziest dual meet I've ever. That dual meet. I mean, you know, when you do pick'ems or whatever.
Yeah.
That one, everything was opposite. That was the strangest dual meet I've ever been at.
That was Ness St. John. St. John was winning, and he got.
Telford Nelson. I think Telford won that match.
He did.
Just a weird.
And Mike Evans, another guy who showed no improvement whatsoever.
Well, if you look at his freshman year, he for sure got better from then. He did not have a good freshman season. I mean, he had a fine freshman season, but he did not.
I think
play.
one of the
but he was cutting
one of
to
the
65
Dardanes
also.
got beat too.
What'd you say?
I think one of the Dardanes got beat by an Iowa guy. That was just a weird. Every match was like you would have never predicted it.
Yeah, that was a wild.
And it
one.
wasn't like one match in the duel. It was like probably four of them.
Yeah.
That place went silent. I mean, when Brancale pinned Gilman, I've never heard Carver that quiet. I've never felt the wind of a big time duel just vanish. It was just gone. It was a Saturday afternoon.
That's weird. Saturday afternoon duel.
Yeah, it was a Saturday afternoon duel.
Okay. So that's Iowa. How are they gonna place as a team? First?
Yes.
There it is. Hawkeye champs.
Penn State is gonna get 8th.
8th?
Dandelion hater Caleb.
Come on, bro.
They are.
We're live.
They're gonna get caught for steroids.
They're gonna get caught for steroids.
Come on.
Top field.
All right.
Michael Broman in the YouTube chat, he's low intellect, so he's trying to debate
Whoa.
me. And yes, my senior year, I was maybe slightly better than my junior year. My junior year was so good statistically, it's really hard to improve on that. As with Starocki, probably similar, but yeah, I would probably say Starocki didn't get all that much better. But thanks, Michael, for the attempt.
You don't think Starocci got better last year compared to his
We
freshman?
got a little bit, but he was already performing at a really high level 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you get to a really high level, like when you're winning national titles, it's hard to make huge, gigantic jumps. But like if you look at, say, my sophomore year and the match scores versus my junior year or senior, or you look at my freshman year versus my junior year or senior year, or you look at my redshirt years, preposterous. Like I was losing to D2 and D3 guys, right? But then so if you look at, I mean, like, and listen, don't call me a Penn State. It's funny because some people call me a Penn State hater, right? But Penn State, they've had guys, Bo Nickel, great example, right? The redshirt year, like he's really good, but he has some losses. His true freshman year, really good, but he has some losses. And then by a couple years later, they're just on a different level. Like they're playing on a different field at that point in time. And they've done that with quite a few guys. And then you'll get some other programs and take guys who aren't nearly as good, and all of a sudden they're competing at an all-American level, right? But Iowa,
I don't know. I think you take
hold on,
Penn State.
Can I finish this one statement? Iowa, they get really high-level recruiting classes, and they do a really good job. But the rate of improvement, once they get to this kind of base level of we'll say 6 through 12, it doesn't really happen that much.
So I think for a basis of comparison, you just have to remove Penn State, and then look how does Iowa compare to like the rest of the NCAA landscape? Because what Penn State is doing and has done is
It's rare.
without precedent apart from Gable, and even there's other than that era. We really haven't seen anything like it. So if you compare them to the Missouris, the Ohio States, the Arizona States, Michigan, I think their rate of improvement is pretty freaking similar.
I disagree, but you're welcome to that view.
I think you would have a hard time finding.
Yeah, Penn State throws the equation out of whack.
Yes, for sure. Okay, 9:30. Let's keep going. So let's do Northwestern here. Let's talk about their team. So right now, their lineup looks like Michael D'Agostino, Chris Cannon.
That's a team that made some improvement last year.
Oh, boy.
Improvement.
Frankie Talshahar, Yaya Thomas, Chumbley or Mayfield at 57, I think. Ferrante, 65. Fisher, 74. Jack Jessen's back, 84. 197. Andrew Davison, heavyweight. Lucas Davison. So they're ranked 10th. What is this team's max upside, we think? How high could they place? Everything goes great.
Now we're saying was the NCAAs last year because they did incredibly well. Was it an anomaly, or is Storniolo onto something here, and he's figured out how to make these guys consistently a lot better? I think the only ones I feel really good about All-Americaning would be D'Agostino, Cannon, and Davis, which maybe that's an obvious statement. Yaya, he's on Team Roller Coaster, so I don't feel comfortable about him.
Yaya Coaster.
Yaya Coaster. Yeah, so we'll see if they continue to make improvements because they obviously made some big ones going into NCAAs last year.
Yeah, so it could go, D'Agostino, Cannon, I feel like could go either way if they place again, right? As good as D'Agostino was last year, like he'll be in losable, winnable matches throughout the NCAA tournament. Cannon kind of similar, like them both. Would probably pick them both to place, but they could very reasonably not. And so with that, they could, but if you were thinking max upside, how high could D'Agostino get fourth again? Could Cannon get sixth? Could Davison be third or fourth? That's possible. And then if Yaya can recapture some of the magic, maybe they can.
Yaya magic, let's go.
Can they get fifth? Can they get sixth again?
Oof, I don't know.
I'm
betting against it. I have to bet.
Yeah.
They took 6-0 with a champ.
With 23 points from Ryan Deacon. So I think not likely.
Never know, though. I mean, Lucas Davison is someone who you saw, in my opinion, made a lot of improvement. Michael D'Agostino, same thing. But yeah, I mean, you guys know about regression to the mean. A lot of me, part of me says there's going to be a regression to the mean here. Otherwise, obviously, maybe we see just a continued improvement. But I think it's probably more likely the first one.
Yeah, I think
that was the program that should have been taught, and it was. I mean, we talked about it a little bit, but the job Matt Storniolo has done that's a different playing field with what he's doing at Northwestern. I think I saw something, might have been a Flow article, might have been a tweet from Matt himself, that they did not have 1 point at the national tournament last year from a transfer.
Whoa.
Northwestern didn't?
I believe I read that someplace. I mean, I just think
they have such a small roster that it is hard for them to make the moves that other people make.
Meanwhile,
don't they cap it at like 19?
It's small.
I thought it was like 23, but I mean,
it's
like
small. 22, something like that.
I mean, them placing top 10. I mean, I know Coach Storniolo signed an extension, I believe, last year during the season, I believe, but he is good. I mean, they're just consistent. They're really good. I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome that Northwestern's had the success they've had.
Yeah.
But it's going to be tough to do that again. I mean, like you guys said, you take Deacon out, D'Agostino at 125. Those guys just beat each other up. Davison, heavyweight, still really, really good. It's going to be tough. I mean, if they do what they did, I would say this: if they do what they did last year, I think that'd be really impressive. I wouldn't anticipate that, but
I feel like eighth is like max upside for this team. That'd be really impressive. Because there's not a lot of room for improvement in their current rankings points that they're getting, other than really Yaya or some real development that maybe is tough to predict. So how many AAs? I think I'll set the over/under at 2.5.
Oh, 2.5. Let me look at one. Let me look at the composition of 133
I'll take the over.
one more time.
I'd probably take the over.
Also,
I'd say 3.
Yeah.
If I was setting an over/under, I'd take 3. So if you're 2.5, I definitely take the over.
I
take
think
the over,
I
too.
am gonna go. 33
But if we go
is pretty
3.5,
tough.
I'm definitely taking under.
Yeah. That's a scarier number.
Yeah, I think
think it's
3's the
3.
number.
Yeah, I'm gonna say over. I'm gonna say 3.
Cool. All right, we're high on them. Higher or lower than current ranking? Think lower.
Yeah.
Lower.
They got some heat behind them.
And because they performed so well at NCAAs last
Yeah,
year.
they do.
Yeah. Better duel or tournament? Think tournament team for sure. Even though they don't have like the I don't think maybe 57 will be their weakest weight or 65, but they're not gonna be.
Chumbly's not bad.
Yeah, they're not gonna be.
Chombley.
Yeah, they'll keep themselves in dual meets.
Ferrante's not great. Fisher's not great. Jensen's not great. They're gonna take a lot of losses during those 3 weights. Yeah, Andrew Davison's like all right. So I mean, they got 4 kind of weights where they're not super great at.
It's definitely a better tournament team, in my opinion.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay, let's go to Gopher Nation. They got a good team there.
It's already almost 9:40. Do we want to get this?
Oh, shoot. 9:40. Okay, yeah.
We're having
Go
too
ahead.
much fun here.
I know.
Man, if we ask this question here that I just clicked, it will be the end of the show. But we can do it.
This is
What?
true.
Go for it.
All right, the real Avery Lynch. Top 5 80s bands, Shane. Let's do 3.
Oh hell no! All right, I'm gonna leave.
No, Ben, just be a sport.
Man, I'm just going to make this real quick. I'd have to really don't hold me to this necessarily, but you got to go Journey.
Wow.
Journey,
Open
Van
arms.
Halen. I think I'd probably throw Tears for Fears in that mix.
No
The
kidding.
The Police would definitely be in. There's 4 great ones that I just gave you.
What's Queen?
Yeah.
Is Queen considered 80s? I know they had a little 70s.
Yeah, they could be.
I think of them as more 70s.
Great band.
I'll put them at.
They were rolling in the 80s, big time.
They'd be my number 1.
They're good.
Okay.
And then I'd go AC/DC, but that's that. I mean, they cover a bunch of different decades, but
Yeah.
great music, man. Gosh, the 80s were so good. Phil Collins, Genesis, man. Be hard to pick a top 5.
Okay, what about Kadi Magomedov says, I want to test yours against you, and he's holding up Jordan Burroughs' shoe.
This is awesome. I love it. You know what I was thinking about, Christian? I was thinking about how the Russians get to compete in mixed martial arts still. No one's got an issue with that. Makachev just won a belt. Peter Yan fought. Why does no one have an issue with that? They won't let him wrestle. But
Islam was actually talking about this on Instagram.
What do you say?
Oh, really?
He put it on his story and he said location.
Oh, I thought you were talking about what Ben was talking about, but that's not what you mean?
Oh, no, he's not talking about
Okay.
being allowed to fight. He was talking about kind of making made up.
Yeah, I don't. It is a fair point. I don't know. Like,
because
aren't there
the
Russians
UFC
in the NHL?
Well, it's because the UFC, the IOC theoretically is like a non-profit organization, so they are, and it's an.
So I know what you're saying, JD. I know what you're saying.
The UFC cares about money. Like they're not just gonna.
No, you're saying Flo should put on a card with this match. That's what you're saying. Tremendous,
yes,
great
that
idea.
That would be tremendous. Yes, I would be all for that, but the IOC has to uphold.
Yeah, because and
like
also
an appearance.
the difference
it's a worldwide.
Yeah, the difference is they're representing the nation. Like Islam is not representing. He is Russian, but it's not like he's like a team, a Russian representation.
It's Islam versus Charles Oliveira.
What
It's
do
not
you
Russia
think about
versus
my
Brazil.
idea?
Yeah, it'd be sick. I mean, I want to do this round robin. I want it goes 79 kilograms. Burroughs versus Kadi, Dake versus Kadi, Burroughs versus Dake at 79.
Maybe throw Sudikov in the mix while we're at it.
He can stay home. I like my because it's a little crowded. So yeah, that's my thought. I think that would be fire. And I think I would take it. Yeah, I think Burroughs can beat Cotty. I think they can too. Okay. Why do Russians in the UFC have the best gas tanks, but Russians in wrestling gas in a minute?
I saw this. This is Cole Baumgartner out of Mizzou.
Bummy.
It's a very interesting question.
It is.
Because, Khabib always had an outstanding gas tank. And the Russians don't gas as bad as they used to. I mean, Junior World, some of these dudes want to fall over, right? But Worlds, they generally do get more tired. I have no idea. I have no good answers. I have zero good answers. You have any good answers, Christian?
I mean, it is a different sport.
But same concept, though.
I don't know. You get it's similar. I mean, I don't know, Ben.
I think they're equally as hard. I mean, I think fighting's a little easier than wrestling from a cardio standpoint, but you're fighting longer, right? So I think they're relatively equivalent. You're fighting there 15 or 25 minutes, or you're wrestling 6. Wrestling is more intense, compact time frame, but because you're fighting more, they take roughly the same amount of cardio, in my opinion.
Maybe it's because so in freestyle, you're never really just hanging out. Like you can hang out in folk style. You can spend a minute and a half, 3 minutes on top. Really conserve a lot.
Folk style? Folk style's harder from a cardio perspective.
Come on, Christian, are you messing with me right now?
Well, no.
Yeah, folk style's harder.
But what I said is true.
Folk style is much harder cardio-wise than freestyle.
Sure, but what I'm saying is, if you're a dominant top wrestler, you can do a lot to conserve energy and not expend as much. Whereas in freestyle,
I see your argument here, Christian. But I think if you were just to look at from wrestlers, like the more fast twitch guys, the guys who do not have as much cardio, generally have more success in freestyle than folk style.
Mm-hmm. So, I guess my point here is, if these guys, the Russians, get on top and can like just pulverize the guys, they're able to conserve more that way.
No, but it's hard. It's hard. I pulverized guys for a long time on top, and it's still exhausting. It's very tiring.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not an MMA expert.
Because you got to pulverize them for a long time.
Yeah, it's much easier when you just strangle them.
I think the Russians gassing thing is a bit blown out of proportion. Like, name one of their good guys that really gasses.
I feel like we've seen Rashidov fall off before.
That's happened.
But this is like one guy who we're like, maybe he has a little bit. Like,
but
you can say the same thing about Americans.
Yeah, they are better though than they have. I mean, who's our favorite? He's Russian.
Musakayev. But he doesn't compete for them.
He's Russian. Don't call him Hungarian.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
He's also an anomaly where he is like the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
Gassers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess like Sidikov has a good tank. Sedulayev, you've never seen him really pushed to where he gets tired, but it's hard to push him, obviously.
Snyder kind of broke him in 2017 a little bit.
Yeah, I guess you could say 2017. Didn't Ugaev get really tired against Gilman in the Olympic finals? Or not the finals, but the Olympics.
He also beat him in the last second, though.
Yeah, but I feel like he was like really exhausted. Maybe it's more Junior Worlds. I've actually thought about this, and I haven't put enough time.
Maybe it's more Veteran Worlds.
This is off cup, but I thought, what if like they don't focus on that till they're older?
There's also a difference. Sorry, Ben.
Some of those dudes at Junior Worlds just fall over.
Yeah, and that's the thing versus just being really tired, like noticeably tired, but still being able to wrestle, which is what a lot of them versus like just falling off a cliff and your performance suffers. Like, I feel like we don't see that too much from their best.
There's a guy who doesn't gas out. Mark Bader just walked in.
Whoop, whoop.
He doesn't know how. He doesn't know how to get tired. You're on camera, Bader. There you go.
CDP?
That's CDP.
CDP.
Yeah. He doesn't get tired either. Two good gas tanks there on the back table.
Astros player?
I couldn't have been an Astros player for 3 years now.
Yeah.
Whatever. Go Cardinals.
Go Cardinals. All right. It is 9:46.
Oh, we're late. I gotta pee also.
P and Ben Askren, they call him.
Guys,
All right.
how great is it? It's folk style season.
Raise the roof. Let's go.
Fantastic.
Mark
So
Bader,
pumped.
leave that child alone.
Leave that child alone. Thank you guys so much. We'll be back tomorrow. Previewing the weekend, all kinds of fun. We'll see you guys then.
But
Have
you
a
won't
happy
be here
Wednesday.
tomorrow. Who's it gonna be? Just me and JD?
David, Bray.
Douglas.
David Douglas Bray. Good Douglas. All right. See you then. Goodbye. Thank you.